In the shadow of Staples Center's towering rims and the echoes of legends past, the Los Angeles Lakers stand at a precipice, caught between honoring their storied legacy and daring to rewrite the future in a way the purple and gold faithful never dreamed possible. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. The Lakers, forever synonymous with the flash and flare of Showtime, the relentless dominance of Kobe and Shaq's three-peat, the gritty resilience of the 2010 back-to-back, and the electrifying unity of the 2020 bubble championship, now find themselves retooling around a new axis, Luka Doncic. This franchise has pivoted sharply, chasing a championship window centered on the Slovenian phenom, and yet the makeshift roster around him has been a source of unyielding debate, whispers, and increasingly urgent trade rumors. Now, amid the early murmurs of the 2025-26 season, a seismic undercurrent surges beneath the surface, one that shakes the very foundations of the Lakers. Rotation and forces us to ask, which pieces will survive the reckoning and which will be sacrificed? On the altar of contention? R.B. Hayek from Clutch Points recently fanned the flames with a tantalizing prediction that reverberated through every Lakers fan's living room. Of all the athletic, high-energy elements on this team, it may be Jarred Vanderbilt, that 6'8" power forward whose relentless perimeter defense once dazzled, who stands on the chopping block. After all, his 4.1 points and 5.1 rebounds per game during the 2024-25 regular season, paired with a modest 48.8% shooting from the floor, paint a picture of a player struggling to meet the multifaceted demands of modern NBA basketball. But the brutal truth hits hardest in the postseason, where Vanderbilt's offensive production shrivels to a paltry 1.4 points per game and a cold 33.3% shooting over 5 crucial games, casting a long shadow over his remaining tenure with the purple and gold. With a $10.7 million contract stretching into the next campaign, the Lakers must weigh the merits of loyalty against the bitter necessities of roster optimization. It's a familiar Lakers narrative, mirroring past crossroads when the front office had to make agonizing moves think D'Angelo Russell, traded prior to his resurgence, or the complex maneuvering around Max Christie and Jackson Hayes, to clear cap space for true difference makers. Yet, the saga of Vanderbilt is emblematic of a broader philosophical shift for this Lakers squad, a pendulum swinging away from players who excel in a single facet towards those who can unlock the full spectrum of offense and defense. Coach J. Redick's demand for balanced productivity is the litmus test here. Even with Vanderbilt's elite perimeter defense, the purple and gold's timeline to a championship demands more. But here's the under-the-radar bomb no one saw coming. The Lakers might not only be eyeing Vanderbilt's departure, but also reconsidering other key rotational players such as Gabe Vincent. Vincent, a guard known for his tenacious defense and steady shooting, has been on the fringes of trade discussions as Rob Pelinka juggles salary cap constraints and tries to assemble a roster capable of elevating Luka's game to ultimate glory. The whispers of potential blockbuster trades and savvy buyout market signings haunt trade rumors' underbelly, highlighting a front office restless, striving for that delicate chemistry which fueled Kobe and Shaq to 3 straight titles, or the 2020 nucleus around LeBron and AD that hoisted the championship trophy in a magical summer isolation. The tension could not be more palpable. Is the Lakers' trade deadline this year the breaking point? Will they sacrifice Vanderbilt's limited offensive output and injury history shoulder to make space for a more aggressive scoring threat or a cleaner, healthier piece that rounds out the squad? Could this decision unlock the long-sought, well-balanced lineup capable of sustaining playoff battles deep into June? The stakes stretch far beyond mere numbers. They strike at the Lakers' heart and soul, echoing locker room conversations and testing the fragile chemistry between veterans and emerging stars like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, who tirelessly battled to prove their worth every night. Every cap wrinkle in contract translates into potential ripple effects on draft picks, rotational minutes, and future team building, pressuring Pelinka to perform his magic with surgical precision. And what of the fans, those who have weathered heartbreak and ecstasy, from Magic's fast breaks to Kobe's fadeaways, from the Shams Charania scoops to late-night locker room leaks? The suspense entwines with hope and dread. Will this be the ignition point that lights the path forward, or the crack that fractures a legacy painstakingly built over decades? As a lifelong Lakers believer, my pulse is racing just writing this. The uncertainty stinging, yet the promise of glory always within tantalizing reach. What if trading Vanderbilt isn't just a roster tweak, but a statement that the Lakers are willing to sacrifice familiarity for firepower, defense for offense, past for future? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. Are we on the cusp of a new storied chapter, or teetering dangerously close to uncharted chaos? The air feels thick with electricity tonight, like every drop of sweat that's ever slicked the palms of Lakers legends is charging the very concrete beneath Crypto.com arena, vibrating through my veins as I type like a live wire threatening to spark a wildfire that could consume or cleanse. This isn't just a roster update. This is the soul of the franchise trembling on the brink. The collective heart of purple and gold pulsating with raw anxiety and fierce hope in equal measure. Because we all know what's at stake. The ghost of Showtime glides silently through the arena, whispering warnings of what it means to build a dynasty on star power meshed with cohesion, of the brutal calculus that once forced Jerry West to sacrifice pieces before Magic's coronation. And now that same bloodbath threatens to split apart the Lakers' rotation around Luka Doncic's mercurial brilliance, a man who's already bending the rules of what the Lakers mean today. We're on a razor's edge where loyalty clashes violently with necessity, and Jarred Vanderbilt's name, once synonymous with relentless grit and lockdown defense, now echoes as a question mark, a potential sacrifice in the blood sport of cap space and playoff dreams. Imagine this, a player who dominated defensively but floundered offensively now cast to the wolves as Rob Pelinka. Searches not just for a trade, but for a damn revolution, for a piece who can elevate Luka beyond brilliance, who can blend toughness and scoring like the Lakers always have. Can we really afford Vanderbilt's $10.7 million when his playoff output shrinks into ghostly insignificance? It stings like a betrayal. But the Lakers cannot dwell in the comfort of familiar rhythms when the West is sharpening its claws. Denver's Nikola Jokic is circling like a shark smelling blood. Phoenix's Devin Booker and Kevin Durant read every hesitation like a playbook. And both the Clippers and Warriors, those sour rivals, lock eyes on any sign of Lakers' fracture and weakness, ready to seize control. I can hear it through the hum. Beneath the court lights, every pass, every defensive rotation, every gasping rebound feeds this tension like a coiled spring ready to snap. Yet the question remains, if we break with Vanderbilt, who steps in to fill the void? Is it Gabe Vincent, that steely guard whose name is now whispered reluctantly in trade circles? Because, frankly, the Lakers need unlocked scoring and rapid versatility more than steadfast but limited contributions. And what if dumping Vanderbilt and potentially Vincent opens a gateway to a trade blockbuster of such seismic proportions? It's not just a single roster move, but a declaration. A message that the purple and gold aren't just treading water. Around Luka, they are ready to torch the league, to revive the fear and awe we once wielded in the brutal ballet of Shaq and Kobe, to channel that 2020 bubble magic that birthed an oasis of triumph amid chaos. But every deal that reshapes a team carries hidden clauses. Think about the draft picks stashed away like landmines for future seasons. About the no-trade clauses that turn a flashy move into a sledgehammer to locker room morale. Does Pelinka gamble everything for a potential star, risking fractured chemistry with veterans like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, whose fighting spirit electrifies the team but may yet be overshadowed or displaced? There's a storm brewing in that locker room where veteran soliloquies spill quietly into the night, picking at the fragile threads holding this team's identity together. Could LeBron James, the king whose legacy is already etched in gold, find himself navigating a fractured squad where the past bedtime stories are replaced by raw, unproven experiments? What about Anthony Davis, trapped in the crossfire? Between hope and health, forced to shoulder more yet plagued by the relentless wear of a grueling NBA calendar? Lakers aren't just trading players. They're trading pieces of history, pieces of trust and identity, and every ripple could send this team careening off course or racing to unprecedented heights. And here's the kicker. What if this seismic trade window doesn't just solve problems, but lays bare hidden fractures nobody saw coming, fractures that could split the locker room, divide fan bases, and rewrite the very narrative of what it means to be a Laker? Imagine being in the stands or on the streets of LA, feeling the city pulse through you as debates ignite like wildfire. Are we watching a reinvention or a ruin? The purple haze around the Crypto.com arena feels dangerous tonight, like a taut wire tightening with every rumor and whisper spilling into the public sphere. A tantalizing, maddening tension where every trade rumor is a shot fired into the night, and every fan's heartbeat is a countdown. And just picture this, a blockbuster trade not involving Vanderbilt or Vincent, but slashing deeper, grabbing a high-impact scorer with a history of carrying franchises, a player with undeniably volatile chemistry, but undeniable elite firepower could. The Lakers dangled this as a carrot to push Dallas or another contender into a frenzy. But then, what of Luka? The prince of this new Lakers era, who demands more than talent. He demands comrades in arms, a balanced machine of scorers and defenders ready to spill blood on the hardwood. Can the Lakers front office deliver that while balancing visions from the past with the brutal present? Now imagine the 2025 trade deadline as a ticking bomb, one that might not only rearrange lineups, but redraw power lines in the Western Conference. Denver's slick moves, Phoenix's steady ascendance, the Clippers' desperation, the Warriors' cunning. They're all watching this unraveling Lakers saga with predator eyes. Will the Lakers, once feared gladiators of the court, face their own demise as allegiances shift, strategies fail, and the world moves on without them? The weight of 37 championships, the whispered prayers of generations, all could pivot on these perilous decisions. And so, as I sit here dripping in adrenaline, scanning every report, every hushed locker room hint like sacred text, I'm gripped by a chilling thought. What if this isn't just a firestorm, but the calm before? A Category 5 hurricane that either redefines Laker greatness or rips it apart for good? What if the real enemy is time itself, galloping towards Luka's prime, while the rest of the roster becomes a patchwork of desperation and fleeting hope? And here's the line blurred in shadows. No analyst wants to cross. Could this be the beginning of the end for the Lakers dynasty as we know it, or the explosive birth of a new golden age that will silence doubters and resurrect the magic of Showtime on a new stage? The clock's ticking relentlessly, the market world buzzes with fever, and the tension is so dense you could cut it with a faded Kobe jersey. As a Laker till I draw my last breath, I can feel the earthquake rumbling under this season. Now, tell me, what's rattling your soul? Because the firestorm hasn't even peaked. I'll say this, loyalty is a beautiful ideal until the scoreboard demands sacrifice. I love Vanderbilt's hustle and heart, but if Luka's championship window hinges on someone else rising to the challenge, the Lakers must be unafraid to make the move even if it tears at the fabric of what we thought was sacred. This season's drama will test not just the roster's mettle, but our faith as fans. Because nothing in Lakers history was ever won without fire and sacrifice.